Hi everybody, this is Sean. Welcome back to our channel. Please help me out by pressing the thumbs up button, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and dialoguing with other people on the channel. It actually helps out the algorithm. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you. In today's video, I want to talk about an incident that happened the other night, and I will leave some details out. Basically, what ended up happening was there was this security officer, an armed security officer that works at a dispensary. He was in a blacked out unit. Well, it wasn't 100% blacked out because there was private security lettering on the side doors, but that's it. He was sitting in this patrol unit, and these two guys who had long criminal rap sheets approached him, like maybe about 10 feet away. So he got out of his car real quick and told them to leave, but like real fast, hey, you get out of here. And then he ended up calling the police. So we were talking, and what really struck me interesting is he asked how he did, like how was his performance. And I gravitated towards that question. You see, this is what I learned being 43 years old. Unsolicited advice is usually not welcome. And you could see that in the comment section boxes, or the comment section areas of YouTube. If you're commenting to somebody else, giving them advice, if it's unsolicited advice, people don't care, guys. People do not care. They don't need your advice. They don't need your guidance. And yes, are they going to steer on the wrong road? Yes, of course. But if advice is not asked for, people don't care to hear it. People do not care to hear it. Just check the comment section box. So if you keep like commenting to other people on here, if they say, like other people, if they say, hey, thanks a lot for the information, that means that advice was well received. But usually people don't do that. If they're not doing that, they don't care for your advice. They don't want it because it's unsolicited. But this guy actually wanted advice. So I said, look, first thing is you don't even have the right uniform on. He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, you're armed security, right? I see that you have a gun. You got a gun on, right? And he said, yes. Well, you don't look like you're a security officer. I don't even know who you are. Matter of fact, when we started talking, I had no idea that you work security. This guy had a beanie on, right? Beanie. He did have his uniform shirt on, but he had this completely black jacket. Just envision this. Black pants. His duty belt was concealed by the jacket, except the gun was it belonged on his duty rig. So he had his exposed firearm popping out. Otherwise, nobody would even know that he is armed security. So I said, first off, you got to get that squared away. You got to get patches. He's like, so I guess I need to, you know what? He said, I'll look for some patches and then I'll sew them on. I said, that's the start. I said, because what is going to happen is you're going to end up getting into a shooting incident, and the whole issue is victim identification. The argument of, I didn't know that he was private security. I thought he was just some guy with a gun coming out. And he actually nodded his head in acceptance. I thought, hey, this is cool. He's actually listening. And I told him, hey, you did a really good job with getting out of your car. You saw that there's a problem. Instead of being boxed in the car, you actually got out and told the guys to leave. Now, this is the screwed up thing here, is this guy's employer gave him an inoperable car. No keys. The guy said, I don't even know if this works. So he has his own POV, his personally owned vehicle, but when he arrives at the job site, he jumps into this unit that's semi-unmarked that looks like a police car, other than the fact that there's words on the side that say private security. But when you are intoxicated and you have clouded judgment, you may not be able to read that, and that's coming from the perspective of an offender. He has no way of egress, so he's basically boxed into a coffin. So that was good. I like the fact that he got out when these guys were like 10 feet. And oh my goodness, these guys had a long criminal rap sheet, guys. I mean, career criminals. So I started to think, you know what? I think that they were probably stalking this guy, kind of hunting him for his sidearm. And that happens quite often in the private security industry. They see somebody who meets the profile of a victim, and they will savagely attack you to get that firearm. These guys have bad rap sheets. One of them, he's a career criminal he steals cars. That's his whole MO. And I could just see him getting a hold of a firearm, and instead of just stealing cars, it becomes stealing unoccupied parked cars. It becomes a carjacking issue. So now he has another instrument of opportunity, which is the guard's firearm. Okay. I gave some tips about parking strategically. Unfortunately, he was in a parking lot where you don't have control over your observations of all the area in front of you. Basically, his sides were exposed, but it was a messed up parking lot. Like, you couldn't go somewhere where you could see everybody like coming in. All of his points, I mean, somebody could be sneaking in the back of him, on the sides. I said, for that reason, I said, I used to work private security. And because of that, you're most likely going to be on your phone because the job is boring for the most part. And then he's like, yeah, it is. He's like, there's nothing to do. I'm like, yeah, I get it. So I get it that you want to be on your phone because it's boring. But at least get some ear pods or some like wireless Bluetooth device. And he was thankful that I gave him that tip. I said, you know, watch your videos or whatever, like watch your videos, whatever it is, but have that in your ear, and every 15 minutes or so, you got to get up and walk around. I told him, I know it's boring, it's freezing cold outside, but you got to do this if you want to remain vigilant, okay? This guy was so receptive. I really appreciated him asking for advice on what he could have done better. I think this employer is ill-equipping this guy. I mean, come on. Not even the keys to this patrol unit. Like, what if he needs to get away? This guy is stuck basically in a box coffin. The guy's his duty rig was a little bit questionable. I don't know what holster it was. I don't know. I don't think it was Alien Gear. It was like some Chinese knockoff holster. Something that I wasn't familiar with. And then I was looking for like another magazine pouch, and it was empty magazine. So, you know, I don't know if his employer's just giving him a firearm. Here you go. That's about it, guys. That's about it. Hopefully this helps those of you who work private security. If you know somebody who works alone in private security and they're new to the job, send them this video. For sure, send them this video. I think my discussion on having patches on the side is going to help. It's also technically illegal in California. If you work armed security or you have a baton, you need to have those patches on. You can't go patchless. A defendant in a case is going to argue, I didn't know that he was private security. I thought he was just some guy with a gun that was going to take my life. Let's take that argument out of the equation, and let's put on some patches on the side. That way the police know who you are, your coworkers know who you are, and those guys who are hell-bent on hurting you. Be safe. If you guys have any other suggestions for this guy, let us know in the comment section box below. Take care, guys. I'm out.